I was sitting back there listening to David do his stuff, and man, he is funny. All of a sudden I understand why we're up here. We make him look good. He looks like a rock and roll. Okay, my name is Bob, and I'm part of Boise's mental health community. But I am considering resigning, as the late graduate Mark said. Please accept my resignation. I don't care to belong to any club that would have me as a member. I used to hear voices, and at one point I thought my cat was talking to me, but he wouldn't talk to me. Not because I didn't like me, but because I neutered him the day before. I thought my cat said, "Don't you need to go to the store?" I mean, I actually thought he said that. He was frustrated because we had run out of beer. And at that point, I thought, this is really crazy. We still have a couple six-packs in the fridge. When I first started to hear voices, I thought maybe I was special or chosen, like Moses or Noah. And then I realized I was chosen. I was chosen to go to the mental hospital. And I've always enjoyed viewing wildlife. And because of my illness, I used to think I could see large animals that weren't there, like panthers or tigers. So I saved hundreds of dollars on visits to the zoo. But I have come a long way. 2 years ago, I didn't talk at all, but that was because they kept me bound and gagged. And this is true. This is all true. I also was 242 pounds because two of the medications I was on caused excessive weight gain. And you might have heard of them, Depakote and Ben & Jerry's. Today I work for the Peer Run Center for Hope, and I teach the arts and crafts class. At one point, we got a kiln and made ceramics. Our first class project was to make a bomb. And our second project was trying to talk the police out of confiscating our kiln. We also do painting, but the staff doesn't like having to pose in the nude. We also make soap. But we had to stop because some of the members made their soap into the shape of a gun and used it to rob banks. I've always been interested in UFOs. Yeah, right. If you don't have a mental diagnosis, but would like one, this is a great way to get the ball rolling. I used to lead a class at the center where we'd look at NASA photos and see all sorts of anomalous objects. For example, there's the structure on Mars that dispenses poison. Who even knew there was a McDonald's on Mars? And then we saw another structure that looked like a high-tech laboratory, but it just turned out to be a Walmart. And even on Mars, they still pay minimum wage. I do work at the Peer Run Center for Hope. I am a glorified janitor. My job is to make sure the doors are open, make sure the garbage is empty, and keep people from stealing the staff's medication. My job involves a high level of technological sophistication. I am the only one who knows how to operate the stereo system. That's right, that's true. I've also had peer specialist training, and as a peer specialist, we learned that more than 50% of communication is nonverbal. Things like voice tone, body language, and the angle at which you point the gun. At the center, we have membership meetings every Thursday where we talk about crucial issues like new therapy classes or taking part in the NAMI walk, and what kind of flavors of soda to keep in the fridge. No, this is important. It took us 3 months to decide whether we should have A&W or Bard's root beer. This is all true. A while back, our landlord sent us a letter saying some of your members are panhandling from some of the other tenants. Could we please stop? And at the Peer Center, we don't consider that panhandling, we consider that fundraising. As a matter of fact, we're training a whole new group of fundraisers next week. And we are getting more sophisticated. Instead of just holding out your hand, we supply our fundraisers with cardboard and black magic markers. A few months back, we met with a Ada County commissioner to try and get some funding for the center. When we explained what we do, he said, "I've never heard of something that crazy." Yeah, and I'm thinking, it's almost as crazy as us electing you to public office. But he gave us all sorts of excuses for not giving us funding. You're too late for this year. You didn't bring in enough information. And you didn't know the secret Republican handshake. The meeting was very short. He didn't even give us a chance to explain ourselves before he had us escorted out of his office. But he was very respectful about it. He made sure the security guards kept their guns holstered. Our politicians here are weird, at least I think they are to some extent. Last year, the first two bills at the State House were to prevent the legalization of marijuana. And number two, how to get 5-gallon beer kegs sold in state liquor stores. Because we'd much rather have people get drunk and fight than hang out in their basements and order pizza. Thank you very much.